If you're planning a backyard wedding or any outdoor event,
we have the top 5 mistakes you should avoid coming up.
Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? My name is Kevin and this is Kimberly, and we are K&K Music Entertainment. This year, there's been a lot of weddings in the backyards, people's houses, or in parks. And I think that's to save money and to also make it an intimate experience. We've noticed a couple of mistakes that people have made, and today we're gonna go through those. And we're gonna give you a bonus tip at the end. And ready for the dismount? Woo!
I love bonus tips. Number 5.
Number 5 on our list is electricity. So being a DJ, of course, we need electricity, but you need electricity for lights, and it's something that you have to consider. Now, we like to have 2 circuits running from a house or from a decent generator. So that's something that you need to think about.
Number 4. You want to make sure that during your backyard wedding or your wedding in the park that you get servers and caterers who are experienced and who aren't just going to dump off the food and leave it there, because you're going to want somebody to maintain that during mealtime.
Even if you're doing the food yourself, I think it's important to have someone dedicated to help make sure that everyone's getting fed and that everything is being served the right way.
Number 3.
So number 3 is your photographer. Do not have just your guests be the photographer, because you may be disappointed in the end.
You want to make sure the photographer is on point, because you can't redo the ceremony, you can't redo the wedding day. We've seen situations where we have actually had to say, hey photographer, there's a moment happening over here. You should get that. Spend the extra money and get yourself a really good photographer. Number 2. Number 2 is wedding planner.
Why is it that you need a wedding planner?
Well, from what we have seen over the past few years, backyard weddings and weddings at parks, the bride ends up being super stressed. She's trying to do everything by herself. A lot of times we've seen friends and family jump in at the last moment, trying to help tie in or tie up all those loose ends. And it causes some frustration, not only for the bride, but for the family, the friends, and the guests. So it's really important to spend an extra couple $100, get yourself a wedding planner, even if it's just the rehearsal dinner and the day of ceremony. It really will take a lot of stress off of you to have somebody taking over the timeline and all the little bits and pieces. Number 1. And the number 1 thing to avoid is
weather. But you can't really control the weather, right? But you can kind of historically decide what your area is like. For us in the southern tier of New York, it could be 80 degrees in October, or it could be snowing.
You can experience all 4 seasons in 24 hours here in New York State. You also want to make sure you have a tent if you're doing it outside and you plan on doing your ceremony outside. Make sure you have a second option where you can move underneath the tent and you're not going to get soaking wet on your wedding day. And then if it's going to be cold, if you're doing it in the fall, it could be a beautiful 80-degree weather up here, or it could be snowing. So you want to make sure you have outdoor heaters, maybe a campfire. Definitely have blankets, keeping your guests cozy. They'll stick around longer. Don't forget the bonus tip.
The bonus tip is, if you want to have a very successful wedding party, then your bridal party is probably the key to it all.
Yeah, you definitely want your bridal party to be high energy, especially when those announcements happen. It's so much fun to see the bridal party dance their way in and kind of just set the foundation for the whole night. It gives everybody permission to party and have a good time. So when the bride and groom and the bridal party make their entrance with a huge, fun, energetic impact, then everybody else is saying, let's party too.
If they can work out some dance moves before, not necessarily the night before, but before, and come in with a lot of energy, then usually we've seen in our experience that the party is lit, that it really goes off really well.
Stay tuned for an upcoming video we're working on called What Is Your DJ Worth?
And as always, if you liked the video, then please hit that like button. It really does help us out. Share and subscribe. Leave us a comment and let us know if you have any other tips for outdoor weddings or outdoor events that people might want to avoid. And we'll see you in the next adventure.